Welcome to Loading Screen Simulator 2021. I hope you enjoy the view. This will be all this stream will be today. No, don't load, don't load! No, it's not a new one. It's just an unusual one.
It reminds me of my homeworld, where at the sight of the Princess and Earthalan, the very blood and tears of sinners turn to ice.
Not only their blood and tears, but also their saliva and mucus, main Fräulein.
Oz? I created another universe and founded paradise.
Are you done talking? If you have noticed, we will be taking someone else around today because I have been building up Fischl lately. She's not really up to par with the rest of the team yet, being only level 60. But she does her job as a supporter well enough already. Today! Yes, Fischl. Officially Fischl. Also, we have lag. It is version 1.5 of Genshin Impact, which includes a lot of things, starting off with a new cube to fight, because we didn't have enough cubes yet. I'll start off with that to get some lag out of the game, hopefully. And then we'll take on a new part of the story. Not main story, however, just character story. And not even for a new character. It's gonna be someone's second chapter for the first time in the game. Also new to the game are more hangouts. Also including a second chapter for Noelle, for some reason. Which requires me to beat or get all 6 of her endings in her first hangout, which I have one of. So that will not be something we'll do today. Oh, and we also get a hangout for Diona with this update, which does not have the correct voice actress yet, so I don't really want to do it. However, at the end of this stream, after we have done the story that I want to do, we will be doing 2 smaller quests, one of which will lead to something more interesting. Anyways, when Dalef is beaten, he tries to heal himself, or it tries to heal itself. We need to prevent this by throwing these balls back at him. Which is probably the worst part of this fight, because I keep getting damaged by these ice spears. And the balls keep disappearing. So he's already back to over half health. Thankfully, after that, he is stunned for a while, which is enough for Klee to take him out most of the time. And that's this new boss. Now we are freezing to death.
Wheel of life.
Also, I'm not sure if we had Endora here by my side in a stream before. Endora is a reward for an event that happened in the previous version. She does nothing in particular except float there, similar to our golden Sealy friend, which we already had previously. How are those balls? They're more like small stellar dodecahedrons. Sure. Or wrecking balls, or what? Morning stars, I guess you can also call them. Anyways, I don't know where we need to go, so I should activate the quest before teleporting somewhere into a loading screen. Because the new story we can play is for our man of contracts, Zhongli, however he's pronounced. Surely that will be fun. Historia Antiqua chapter, Act 2. Strange sights, stolen souls, no mere stone. Catherine of the Adventure Guild in Leo Harbor has a new commission for you. You and Paimon decide to find out what it's all about. Let's get to a warmer place. Hopefully nobody will break any contracts today. Else they will be punished. I have a contract with loading screens for them to last as long as possible. It is what I pay for playing this game. I think I would pay actual money for quicker loading screens. Can I gacha for better loading screen rates? Please. Someday. You can pay money for computer parts, but that's a lot usually. Having an actual computer would probably help instead of a laptop. Then again, at least it is a gaming laptop. Also, I realized it did not actually use Fischl at all in the previous fight. So we'll see what she does a bit later. Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Catherine. It's us. Any new commissions?
That's why we are here, Paimon. Because we somehow know there are.
As a matter of fact, there's one that looks perfect for you two. Uncle Dai is one of the foremen at Huishan Hall over in Liyue Harbor. He's hoping the Adventurers Guild can spare some manpower.
We have no men here.
What is it we have to do exactly?
I believe you'll be looking for workers.
Oh, we are looking for men. Okay.
Ooh, looking for people? Awesome! We're good at that!
I have no reason to doubt your abilities. I'm sure the details can be worked out face to face. If you're willing to accept this commission, head over to the dock and talk to Uncle Dai.
Or he will die. No mere stones. Mare? I don't actually know how to pronounce that word. Head to the dock and find the foreman, Uncle Dai. No, that was a missing person poster. thought that was a missing power poster, which would have been weird. Oh, there you are.
Hey, are you Uncle Di?
He seems quite alive. Hi, David. I'm glad things already work out. Thanks to that friend request.
I am indeed. Ah, now then. You must be the adventurers assigned by the guild.
Huh? How could you tell?
Because you look so adventurous.
By the clothes on your back and the look on your face. Experienced adventurers at that, I'll wager.
Right again! You're pretty perceptive!
In this trade, you need a sharp eye for people, not just rocks. Uncle Di can see what you're made of from a long way off. Alright, my assistant should be arriving soon, so let's just wait here a moment.
Woo woo! That's why we're here! Now there's someone else taking a cut?
Don't worry, he probably doesn't take money. If he is who I think he is.
Well, to tell you the truth, this is a very difficult matter. Too much for adventurers alone to handle life here.
So there is someone else! Do you think we're not up to the job?
Paimon, you're getting competitive again.
It just occurred to me that you don't have all the facts. The incident in question happened in a mine, and it's a little out of the ordinary, to say the least. Mines are dangerous places, as I'm sure you're aware. As such, I've enlisted an industry expert to cover all contingencies.
Are we gonna enter a mine? Is that gonna be a dungeon?
Last time I checked, adventurers weren't experts in ore appraisal or geological analysis. With a professional by your side, everything should run smoothly. Besides, this guy's the best in his field. No matter the rock, he'll tell you its value to the nearest mora at a glance. I'd go as far to say that there's not a soul on Teapot that knows rocks better than him. I'd be a fool to not enlist an expert of his caliber.
You're a fool if you think you found Teapot's #1 rock expert.
But you found the best food expert.
Oh? And why might that be?
Because Teapot's #1 rock expert happens to be a friend of ours.
You must be talking about... Perfect. I was planning to ask him a few questions.
Ha ha! Didn't expect that, did you? Wait here, we'll go fetch him.
Rock and roll.
Paimon bets Young Lee is listening to the storyteller. Let's head over.
Stories are to be told. Paimon can't lift. Well, she can lift herself off the ground, so I guess that's good.
Should I save this money or invest it?
Wait, I'm... Oh, that's storyteller.
Come and see these rare.
In our last tale, Rex Lapis.
Hey, Zhongli, how is it to hear stories about yourself being told?
Young Lee, there you are.
Oh. Here for a few tales. I didn't know you two were connoisseurs.
Oh, no, we're here for you. Do you have time?
Ah, something I'm rarely short of.
We have a special task.
We need someone who understands geology and ore.
Do you know someone?
Someone who understands geology and ore.
Take a look around. Is there anyone in Teapot more qualified? The requester master claims to have enlisted Tevat's #1 rock expert, but Paimon doesn't believe a word of it. Nobody understands rocks better than you.
You appear to have taken his claim quite personally on my behalf.
Oh, no. It's just... Uncle Dai doesn't know what he's talking about. Paimon just wants to enlighten him.
I see. Well, then it will be my pleasure to accompany you.
Really?
Let's gain enlightenment.
But I should inform you that despite my expertise, I cannot necessarily claim to be a leading authority. We are at all times adrift in a sea of learning. New knowledge should be welcomed with open arms. Still, I imagine I will be of help to you in this endeavor. If we do encounter an expert, I look forward to broadening my own understandings.
Ugh, stop being so modest, Young Lee. Well, we got him. Let's head back to Uncle Dai.
Not gonna listen to stories then, are we?
Made another handsome sum today?
Uncle Dai, we're back!
Oh, and this must be the friend you spoke of?
Yep. Paimon doesn't know who your rock expert is, but he's got nothing on our guy.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Still, I do have a claim to some experience in this field.
Uh-huh, so you say. Wait till my guy gets here, then we'll see. It's no use me singing his praises. You'll have to see for yourselves.
Is this the place?
Aha! Speak of the devil. Allow me to introduce my assistant, Kun-jun. Young Kun, these are 2 adventurers assigned to us. And as for this gentleman...
Huh?
This is Zhongli, a consultant from the funeral parlor. He knows about some rocks.
Longsheng Funeral Parlor's consultant. Mr. Zhongli, I've heard about you. They say you're a man of great knowledge and many talents. I had no idea I'd be meeting you in person today.
Knows about tombstones, if nothing else.
I'm sure I recognize you. Have we met at the parlor? Wait, I've never been to the parlor.
Uncle Dai, aren't you gonna test them?
So that's what you were planning.
Huh? I wouldn't know where to start.
Then they can figure out a way to test each other. If Zhongli wins, he's the assistant. If Zhongli loses... never mind. Zhongli won't lose.
A contest? Why, it would be my pleasure.
I admire your enthusiasm, good sir.
I must say, you certainly have the look of an industry expert about you. It'll be interesting to see which one of us wins.
Stop talking the talk and start walking the walk.
I'm just saying it like I see it. Which is, incidentally, the only skill I have worth talking about.
So you're an appraiser, Mr. Kun-jun.
Well, no. Actually, I've already forgotten what I'm in Liyue Harbor for. I was standing by the side of the road one day when Uncle Dai called me over. He saw me holding a rock and asked me a few questions. He seemed incredibly excited, even followed me for a while. We arranged to meet here.
Well, that's not suspicious at all.
Huh? How could you forget something like that?
I saw him on my way over to Liyue Harbor, poring over rocks and muttering to himself. He looked to be very familiar with them. I asked him a few questions out of curiosity. To my surprise, he knew more than me, an old mining foreman. In any case, he didn't have any pressing matters and agreed to help me.
So, do you have a poor memory?
Not exactly. Anyway, if it's rocks you need help with, I can most certainly lend a hand. Mr. Zhongli, what do you make of this rock?
A glossy exterior, with a fissure that could only have been left in the wake of a volcanic eruption. If I'm not mistaken, this is a rough gem from another nation.
Ah, a keen eye.
It's no ordinary rough gem. Fragile surface layer, black veining. My intuition tells me that there's high-quality crystal ore inside.
Remarkable! This rock does indeed hail from the vicinity of a volcano. I came across it in a market and snapped it straight up. The seller thought it was some leftover industrial remnant. They had no inkling of the treasure that lay within.
Isn't crystal ore found everywhere?
Purity and geological rarity alone aren't enough to make a treasure. Some of the most precious crystals contain deposits of water or sand. In the moment of its formation, the crystal hidden within this stone shell captured a pocket of water. For water to be hidden in its depths, like a moon concealed within a mountain, reflecting shafts of daylight that make it through. Now that's a rare treasure.
Such a detailed description. Almost like he saw it with his own 2 eyes. Say, you're not trying to hoodwink us, are you? After all, we haven't even seen what's inside yet.
Everything he said is true. Most crystals are born in high-temperature environments. Heat and water aren't natural bedfellows, of course, which is why crystals with water deposits are so sought after. Moreover, this particular crystal contains mountain lake water. A rare find indeed.
I hope you guys like rocks, because today we talk about rocks.
Well, if Zhongli says so, it must be true.
I've yet to encounter anyone with a judgment as shrewd as yours, Mr. Zhongli. How did you know exactly what lay within?
I've seen many such stones in my time. I recognized it immediately. I hope you didn't mind me flaunting my experience, Mr. Kunjun.
Of course not. I feel I've met a kindred spirit here today. I hope you will accept my friendship. Uncle Dai, it would be a mistake for Mr. Zhongli not to join us. Trust me when I say that his level of expertise is unrivaled in the trade. You won't come across another of his caliber in your lifetime.
Very well. There is strength in numbers, after all. Everyone, follow me to the chasm. There are men counting on you to find them.
The chasm? But not that chasm, right? I mean, that chasm. We don't get a new part of the map this chapter. I mean, this is very close. This update, I mean. Oh well. I feel like I would have heard of that. Chasm has loading screens. That part has new loading screens. Yes! I mean, if it's a new part of the map, it will have new loading screens, surely. Also, let's not get into a fight. We did get into a fight. Oh, we got into rocks. That's very appropriate. Oh, it's this area. This is the mining area, after all. Can I just fly over there? Probably. If I aim for one of the lower places. Wait. From where did you come from? Fischl can summon Oz, her bird friend, who shoots people with electricity, which is great if you want to make them explode with fire.
Life goes on.
Whoa, this mine is huge!
This is where the incident occurred. 6 days ago, a group of us left the site to attend to other matters. When we returned, the 4 men we'd left behind had vanished.
That's funny, because you are 4 men.
I led a team around the entire mine, but found no trace. That's when I decided to enlist help.
So 4 miners have disappeared.
Yes, there were 10 of us. We lost Long, Bold Sen, Brave Sen, and Mao. I worked with all of them.
Workers in this trade are usually young men in the prime of their lives. Could it be that the 4 of them left for another mine?
Unlikely. There's no other lodging for miles around, and we didn't pass any other mines on the way over.
Huh. Such a huge mine. Did you really manage to explore every corner?
Underground, overground, we left no stone unturned. We tried everything short of digging further into the earth itself. How could 4 sturdy young men just vanish into the bedrock?
Quicksand?
We'll need to explore the site ourselves before extracting any conclusions.
Very well. I'll wait here. Please, proceed wherever you'd like. If you come across any clues, let me know straight away.
So strange. How could the 4 of them just suddenly disappear? Did they run away from something? Let's look around first and see if we can find any clues.
I smell clues this way.
Over here! What's this? A pile of shirts, some trousers.
Huh. A few everyday items. They must belong to Uncle Dai and his men.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Paimon, you can count up to 4. Great.
Huh, that seems right. 10 shirts, 10 pairs of trousers.
Then she skipped a few numbers.
These must be spares, right? Look, Uncle Dai's clothes are identical.
The 4 of them have been gone for 6 days without a change of clothes.
So we must be able to smell them from a mile away.
There's also a few handkerchiefs and some soap lying around. Oh, and some tool belts.
Items for washing one's face before the dawn shift. Mining equipment.
So, they didn't take any supplies.
Correct.
Maybe they just forgot them.
Improbable. There are 4 pickaxes missing. It seems likely they left with the tools of their trade. They had time to take their tools, but not their everyday items? Curious.
Huh. Why would someone set off with their tools, but leave their luggage behind?
One, they were working close by and didn't need to move their personal effects. But seeing as they've yet to return, this seems an unlikely hypothesis. Or two, they were forced to leave and had no time to think about their supplies.
Oh.
Do you think someone kidnapped them?
It's certainly a possibility. We'll need more clues before any further inference can be made.
If they didn't leave, maybe they were made to leave. Let's make a note and let Uncle Dai know.
Maybe the 4 men died. Get it? 4 men die? Ha 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 ha. I have all the puns today. What have you found?
Kunjun, what do you have there?
Core lapis.
Oh, right on time.
Did you find anything?
There's a chunk of ore here. Perhaps there are clues within.
Or, what does it have to do with the disappearance?
Let's find out. I'll give it a try. A moment, please. Okay.
Excuse me, who are you again? That you can look into a stone and see the past?
Looks like he's concentrating really hard. What's he up to?
Oh, there's just a camera in the rock. Yeah, that also makes sense.
I see 4 men following someone out of the mine. It looks like a child.
Oh, I didn't even notice there was someone.
A child? What's a child doing in a mine?
Maybe it's hers.
I'm not sure.
Also, how did you see anything exactly?
Oh, I don't mean see in the traditional sense. I would appreciate it if what I'm about to tell you remained a secret. It's a little odd. I've never dared to tell anyone before. I can perceive the memories of ore.
That's not strange at all.
Huh?
You don't have barely any memories of yourself, but you can look at the memories of ore? Did your memories get stolen and stored in some ore?
Perceive? So there's no conjecture at work?
You mean you can put your hand on a rock and boom, it just happens?
I've always sensed that ore contains memories. Sometimes it records events that occur in the surrounding area. All I have to do is touch one and focus my attention, and the memories come to me.
Amazing! So you can find out everything that ever happened there.
It depends on the ore. Some ores have astounding memories. Others, like iron ore and white iron ore, aren't up to much. Their memories are hazy. Core lapis and crystal memories are much stronger. They record more events and in greater detail.
Stone seeing. Fascinating. A rare ability indeed. It was prudent of Uncle Dai to recruit you, Mr. Kunjun.
I'm glad I can be of assistance. Based on what I saw, I believe they followed this path.
Well, then let's follow that path.
This will take us north, away from the mine.
North. Another clue for Uncle Dai. Let's make a note of it.
Do we need more clues? Apparently we do. We also need more iron chunks. Bravo! Bravo.
Excuse me, sir. Are you one of the workers here?
Ah, yes. You must be here about the disappearance. Please, find them if you can. I don't know what happened. The weather was gloomy that day. The foreman left with a few men. I stayed behind with the other 4. After a while, I decided to take a break, just to catch my breath. I ended up falling asleep in the shelter inside. When I woke up, there was no sight of them. I'd only just been speaking with them and suddenly they'd vanished. Maybe I'm next.
So the men that were out working disappeared, with the only one left to tell the tale having been asleep in a shelter. Perhaps an accident occurred on site.
What a scary thought. An on-site accident. We should note that down too. We found some clues. Time to report back to Uncle Di.
You're back. How are the investigations going?
We found 3 clues in the vicinity. First, there are 4 missing pickaxes, yet everyday items are still in their place. This suggests that your men didn't leave of their own accord, but were forced to.
Forced to? But who would kidnap miners?
A kid. Apparently.
Who indeed? Second, there were 5 workers at the mine. One of them left the site to take respite. When he awoke, his colleagues had disappeared without a trace. Those who kept working all disappeared. The one who left early emerged safe and sound. It would appear that the incident occurred on site.
Now that you mention it, I recall Bravo saying that he took a break. Could someone have entered the site and simply walked away with them?
This leads me to my third point. Mr. Kun-jun here made good use of his expert techniques to arrive at a conclusion. It was a child that took your men away.
A child? But there are no settlements here for miles around. There's no way a child would have made it over to the mine.
Maybe not a child, but maybe it was. Child.
Unlikely as it sounds, that's our conclusion. Your men were following a child.
Where did they go?
We believe that they followed the road north, away from the mine and toward the ruins.
North? Right. I'll rally my men and head in pursuit.
Do you need help?
You've been invaluable to the investigation, but leave the legwork to us. If we set off now and make haste, we might be able to catch them.
Not so fast. The incident occurred 6 days ago. Even if they set out on foot, they will have covered a lot of ground by now.
You're right. New plan. I'll lead my search party over to the settlements further out and make some inquiries. There are only a few settlements around here with lodging for the night. We'll go investigate and see if we can come up with anything. In the meantime, you could keep looking for clues. If we don't see each other, let's reconvene at Wangshu Inn tomorrow evening.
More clues.
Agreed.
All right, me and my men will get going.
Slowly.
So, they're gonna talk to the people over at the settlements while we keep investigating here.
Correct.
But there aren't any more clues at the mine. Shouldn't we go north?
Wait. I believe we're missing someone.
Yeah, he sure went elsewhere.
Huh? Oh yeah! Where's Kun-jun? Paimon bets he's still investigating. Let's go find him. looking for? We're all out of clues. Let's get going.
Ah, apologies. I'm conducting a quick search for my own benefit. I'm looking for a precious stone known as Dragonfall.
There are 7 of them.
Dragonfall.
Not my area of expertise.
Dragonfall is often used in forging. What use do you have for it?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't recall why I'm seeking it. I've been feeling very absent lately. Name and address aside, I'm having trouble remembering things. In fact, I've been feeling extremely anxious, as if there's something I've forgotten to finish. It's an unpleasant sensation.
Oh, Paimon knows that feeling. When you know you've forgotten something, but you can't remember exactly what it is.
Paimon always forgets things.
I don't even know where to start with it. I've been aimlessly wandering. That day at the market, I overheard a conversation while I was buying something. They mentioned Dragonfall. It sounded so familiar to me, as if whatever it was I had to do was linked to that stone. So, I decided to look for some. Perhaps if I can retrieve some, I'll remember what it is I have to do.
I see. If I am able to during our endeavor, I will help you look for this stone.
Really? Oh, thank you, Mr. Zhengli. You're too kind.
Think nothing of it.
Shouldn't we get going?
Heading north from the chasm, we'll reach Lingju Pass. If this is indeed the path they chose, there will be traces.
Great! Let's have a look.
So we won't actually enter the chasm, is what you're saying. I guess that would have been advertised more heavily if it was the case. Bad at getting meat today.
Wait! There are tracks here! These must have been left by the miners!
Let us make our way to the end of Lingju Pass. If there are no footprints there, it would suggest that the miners are still within the pass itself. However, if we find new tracks, we can follow them wherever they may lead.
Can we avoid battle? Barely. Mages can look very far. And teleport very far.
Oz, reveal thyself!
Coming to be!
Go. Opening box of Adepti tricks. Shadow Raven, let night fall!
No rest for the wicked.
Witness my great undertaking!
Oh hey, this is where the entrance to that mad scientist lab was, wasn't it? Where are we going? Put it that way.
Hey! Footprints!
It would appear that they made their way through Lingju Pass and kept moving.
Surely nobody else ever walked through here.
If we follow their footprints, we should be able to find where they went.
Like you're very optimistic that those are their footprints.
Oh no! The footprints end here!
We should inquire with anyone nearby. If the miners came through here, they may well have seen them.
Okay, money. You are stuck. No money for me.
Hi there! Have you seen anyone dressed like a miner around here?
A miner? I'm afraid not.
How about a minor?
Let's try someone else.
Or possibly 4 miners and 1 miner.
Hello! Have you seen any miners nearby? About this tall? 4 of them?
Stop bothering me. Can't you see I'm cloud watching?
Get out of my way.
Jeez, a little grumpy, aren't we? Whatever. Let's go ask someone else.
Treasure. Is that yours? You look angry.
Jumpy Dumpty! By royal decree!
Don't be a killjoy! We've only just begun!
Yeah. La la la. Woo.
Life goes on.
You can't run! Don't be a killjoy! We've only just begun!
Oz, reveal thyself!
I see through you!
Feel the surge of power.
Can't run! Don't be a killjoy! We've only just begun!
La la la.
You can't run! Don't be a killjoy!
By royal decree!
I miscalculated.
I mean, you get the cutscene, so probably.
It must have been about 4 or 5 days ago. There were a few men who came through here carrying baskets and picks. I guess that could have been them.
Yeah, that's them!
4 or 5 days ago. It appears that they were moving slower than we'd anticipated. Traversing the geography of Lingju Pass must have held them up.
Guess they couldn't fly.
It was so strange. 4 big guys with lifeless expressions. It was like they were in some sort of trance. And there was a child staggering in front of them.
And you didn't say anything.
Huh. This child. Did you see what they look like?
They ran into a lot of loading screens, yes. Surely.
I caught a glimpse. Blue hair, short. I think it was a girl. She wasn't smiling. In fact, she looked very serious.
Blue-haired girl.
And they took this road?
Yes, they followed it straight from here.
Let's go after them.
Let's go indeed. No, I don't wanna. You'll never catch me with that speed.
More footprints. There's a person over there.
Where?
Help! Please save me!
Is that one of the people we're looking for? Oh, rescue first. Ask questions later.
Well, you are in trouble.
Pew! Blazing delight! That really hurt. Yeah.
First, moments of birth.
Good thing that big guy over there doesn't want to enter this fight when we beat up its children.
Burst forth. Witness my great undertaking.
Those monsters were so aggressive. They must have noticed me walking through. Before I knew it, they were all over me. Thank you all for saving me.
You haven't seen that lizard before? I don't like fighting them, so that's a good possibility that I avoided them so far. There's 3 kinds of them. The small ones we just fought, the big one we saw in the distance, and one boss version.
My name is Wanyu. I belong to Liyue Shengyu Hall. I head up our human culture and civilization research.
Huh? You sure you're not a miner?
A miner?
Yeah, we're looking for a group of 4 strong fellas carrying mining equipment.
I think I saw those people.
Really?
Yes. I set off from Nantianmen the day before yesterday, heading for Lingju Pass. About halfway there, I came across some people. A few men and a child.
Can you be a bit more specific?
I was in a hurry. I didn't get a good look. I'm afraid I'm not even sure what they looked like. Apologies.
I think that's all we needed to hear. Thank you.
I hope it's useful to you. I'd better get going. There's a conference I need to attend. Again, thank you all for your help.
Meat! There's meat on the ground.
According to this scholar, the miners were heading for Nantianmen.
Can we be absolutely sure that it was the men that we're looking for?
I mean, the description seemed quite accurate.
A child with a group of adults. Sounds pretty close to Paimon.
Could easily have been a different group.
What?
Hey, perhaps that rock over there can tell us more.
You mean the big one with the legs? Oh no, just stone.
Aha! Paimon nearly forgot about our secret weapon.
It looks promising. I'll do my best.
Oh, now I saw the girl. And I'm pretty sure I've seen her before somewhere.
It's the same group, all right. They followed this road.
Mr. Kunjun, your stone seeing is something I won't forget in a hurry.
I suppose it is an asset, though I rarely find a use for it. But praise from Mr. Zhongli is high praise indeed.
It's a good thing we brought our Kunjun compass along. We would have lost all sense of direction a long time ago.
You think so? I guess it's been a worthwhile trip then. It feels like we're cracking a criminal case. It's a lot of fun.
Be that as it may, we would do well to keep our guards high. 4 fully grown men in a trance-like state, walking ceaselessly day and night, over hills and mountains, led by a child. This is no ordinary incident.
Oh, you're quite right, Mr. Zhongli. We should have our wits about us.
That's not all. Our scholar was attacked by Geovishap hatchlings, but the level of aggression they exhibited was unusual.
That's the name of the lizards.
We have encountered many clues along the way. So far, they've pointed us in the right direction. The miners headed in the direction of Nantianmen the day before yesterday. From here, they would have had to navigate a perilous mountain road. If their destination is indeed Nantianmen, we should be able to catch up with them.
Great! No time to lose!
I left a mark in the vicinity just now. If Uncle Dai does pass through here, it should guide him to us.
Clever thinking! A classic Zhongli move!
This rock is no different from ordinary collapse, except that I could not break it, and yet Kunjun was able to see a memory through it. It was thanks to this sort of rock that we were able to find some clues. Also, I assume the meat is gone? No, the meat is still here. Who? More lizards. Should have just left that meat. Are you even... Yeah. You are gonna come over.
Oz, reveal!
Come into being! Feel this ancient power.
Rise.
Yes, while we're here and talking about them. Even though the chances might be high that the story makes us fight one.
By royal decree!
This is a regular Geovishap. And personally, I think they're very much easier than their smaller counterparts. Because the bigger they are, the farther they fall. They do have a second phase to them, but that just makes them take more elemental damage. So, where are we supposed to go? 500 meters that way. Can we teleport there? Oh, and this is the boss. Boss version. Primo Geovishap. But we will not be fighting that.
Hey! Over here on the ground! Is this one of the missing people?
He sure is called Miner.
There's a basket lying here, too. This must be one of the miners.
Hey! Hello? Can you hear us?
Judging by his appearance, he must have collapsed from exhaustion.
Should we wake him up?
I can still dig.
Sounds like he's whispering something.
It looks like he's trying to stand up.
It seems that he thinks he still has work to do. Something's not right. There's a camp nearby. We should take him there and monitor his condition before deciding our next move.
Compelled to digging his own grave, surely.
La la la.
That's a lot of fire. Does anything happen if I take all of those out? Guess not. Oh well.
Faster? Okay, faster.
How is he? He won't die, right?
He's worked himself into a stupor. Thankfully, he's not in serious danger.
How did he get so exhausted?
Hyman heard him talking about digging for something. Did he dig himself into this state?
It's certainly a possibility.
Strange.
It looks like there's something in his pocket.
A shovel.
Are these ore fragments?
Can you talk to them? You're sure trying.
I just witnessed the memories within these ore fragments. This person brought these fragments out of the mine. He's one of the 4 that we're searching for.
How he came to be here is what we need to understand.
Oh hey, it's that weird tree.
So he was kidnapped and then abandoned here. But if they didn't need him, why bring him all the way out here?
Unless something happened. Something that led him to fall behind.
Ugh. Paimon's had enough. This is too mysterious.
Oh, wait a moment. Seeing these fragments has jogged my memory. I have something for you.
What is it? Ooh, is it a present?
Something for us?
As I mentioned, before I met Uncle Dai, I was in a daze. After setting out with you on this case, it feels like a fog is lifting. I was so happy when Uncle Dai enlisted you to help. I would never have managed to track down these clues by myself. These are some crystals that I bought from the market. Not any old crystals, mind you. This purity is extraordinarily rare. One for each of you. A memory, if you will.
It's beautiful. Oh, and the colors change as you turn it. It's like a different crystal from each angle.
Can I really keep this?
But of course, take it. And this one is for Mr. Shangli. Huh? Is something wrong? Not to your liking?
On the contrary, I just hadn't anticipated receiving a gift during the current circumstances. But thank you. I will take good care of it.
I'm pleased you like them. It's nice to be able to give a gift that others can appreciate. Oh, I see more rocks over there. You should all get some rest. I'm going to scan the surroundings. Perhaps there are more memories to uncover.
Scan the surroundings is written weirdly in this dialogue.
You sure like rocks, huh, Kunjun?
Ores are the crystals of the earth, the sediment of time itself. I feel at peace among them. Get some rest and call me when you're ready to set off. I won't be far.
He'll be okay on his own, right?
Rest easy. I surveyed the area. There's no danger here.
I can see some slimes right there.
Oh, however, there is something I wanted to discuss with you.
Huh? What's with the seriousness all of a sudden?
Traveler, does Dragonfall mean anything to you?
I mean, I fought the dragon until it fell, but no.
You mean the ore that Kunjun's looking for? What's so special about it?
Dragonfall is an incredibly rare ore used in forging. The majority of regular crystals are formed in high-temperature environments. Dragonfall, on the other hand, is formed as a product of elemental reactions.
So, alchemy.
Elemental reactions can produce material objects?
Indeed they can. However, only a minority can survive for long periods of time. Dragonfall first emerged in the midst of a great battle, thousands of years ago. Powerful clashes of elemental energy gave birth to elemental crystals. When the fighting ceased, these geological remnants were miraculously preserved.
Cool.
And yet they are crystal creations all the same. Few and far between, relatively unknown. A few hundred years ago, they were virtually mined into obscurity. Why is it then that a citizen of Liyue now wishes to strike upon an ore that has long since vanished from the earth?
Yeah, if he knows of its existence, surely he knows all of it's already been mined. Weird. Paimon doesn't get it.
There are those in the mining trade who retain a keen interest in Dragonfall. But for someone like Mr. Kunjun, whose motivations for seeking it are unclear even unto himself, it's practically unheard of.
Perhaps he has ulterior motives, like I have been saying from the start. He does not seem fully trustworthy.
Ulterior motives? Is he a villain?
A conclusion that is presently impossible to reach. We must watch and wait. Don't forget, rescuing those miners is the primary objective. As for anything else, sooner or later the tide will reveal the lie of the land. We're drawing closer to our goal. I believe we should continue to follow this road through. Now that we've found one, the others won't be far away. When you're well rested, call Mr. Kunjun over to us. We still have more investigation ahead. We should ensure this miner is settled here at the camp. Once we've brought this matter to a close, we can return and attend to him. I suggest we leave a note for Uncle Dai. If he does find the camp, he'll know what to do.
Maybe we should tie him to a pole or something, so that he doesn't run away and try to dig something up. The miner, I mean. Cake stone. A rare ore mined from a deserted spot deep in the mountains. This sort of ore can only be found in veins in the oldest mountains. Perhaps it is due to its extreme rarity, but many merchants haven't even so much as heard of this rock. The ore itself has incredible clarity and its colors are dazzling, almost seeming to glow with an inner light that brings out its blue-violet beauty, which is like the distant and lovely sunset sky. The few scholars who understand its value gave it a most straightforward name. A cake stone. If you intend to give it as a gift, it would be best to give it to one who recognizes what they are receiving.
1, 2, breathe. 3, 4, and
He does. Oh hey, moving closer to that tree. Also, speaking of blue-haired little girls, I don't know if I would call that blue hair, but it's close enough. Speaking of slimes as well.
No problem. I'm done here.
Any results, Mr. Kunjun?
There are many beautiful rocks here, but nothing out of the ordinary. I couldn't find any...
Bunch of that tree. It looks like a rock.
Then again, the memories of ore can shift with the passage of time and the changing of the environment.
Is there a pattern to it?
Difficult to say. I feel that ore memories tend to be from the recent past.
So there's never any ancient memories?
Rocks endure, but as eons pass, their memories are erased. Those memories that survive are rooted in powerful emotion or thought.
That makes sense. It is the same for people.
Indeed. Let's keep going.
That branch, I meant. Didn't we meet a small child standing before this tree once? Was that on stream or was that in some kind of chapter I played off stream?
Wow. Such an immense tree.
And there's so many mysterious-looking crystals up there, too! Amazing!
Trying to remember the context. Just know she ran away, I think.
This ancient tree. Let's conduct separate investigations. I'll take that area. Perhaps you could survey this section.
Sure.
All right, then.
Kunjun, can you see anything worth investigating?
Butterfly. Let's take its wings.
Well, there is this stone tablet here.
I've read that before.
Doesn't seem very interesting. Paimon's gonna look over there.
Huh. It's worth a try, surely. Let me see.
I mean, it's made of rock.
Oh. This is...
Hey, what's wrong?
Just a bit lightheaded. It's past. Nothing to worry about.
Slightly aggressive tombstone. Did you see anything?
Not yet.
Whatever. Paimon's going to investigate over there. Why don't you climb the tree and have a look?
You're sure there'll be any clues in the tree?
If you don't try, you won't know. Anyway, you'll be able to get a good look at our surroundings from up there.
I've been on a tree once. There were like 3 Sealy up there to catch.
Oh, you think so?
When has Paimon ever come up with a bad idea,
Sure.
Wait a minute. Paimon can fly. Alright, Paimon will go. You wait here. Paimon will...
All of you, come here.
Huh? Zhongli's voice came from... behind the tree. Did he find another clue? Quick, let's go see. Maybe he found another miner.
Life endures in heaven and earth, thanks to the merciful Adeptus. On this side lies an evil dragon. Please do not disturb it. I read this ages ago. Surely that's not relevant.
This has been newly dug. It would appear our answer is up ahead.
Is that a voice coming from the tunnel? Someone else go first.
It's time for a dungeon.
Compose yourselves. I will lead us in. There is an unusual presence emanating from inside the tunnel. Prepare yourselves and tread lightly.
Is it a dungeon? Or just a cave?
Huh?
This is...
The missing miners are here.
No, it does look like a dungeon entrance.
What are they digging for?
I'm afraid that this whole tunnel is the fruit of their strenuous labor.
That gate. Has it been there all along?
Digging a tunnel to this ancient seal. Had they not been discovered, they would undoubtedly persevere until they opened the gate.
So behind the seal, What do we do? We can't hurt them.
Well then. This is indeed our grave now. I wonder how they recorded those sounds so seriously. That's something you can ask about many a game, can't you? And the answer is probably by laughing a lot afterwards. Sucked into the loading screen. That's how it goes. Now we are stuck here. Oh. Okay. Maybe not a domain.
What type of monster is this?
Morax, you arrive at my doorstep of your own volition. Excellent. Taking revenge for sealing me away will be all the easier.
So, the little girl is your power incarnate. But if you recall, Ishtaha, this is not how we intended for events to transpire.
Waste not your words. Your life is mine.
The biggest lizard, indeed. It says, Sealed Lord of Bishops, huh?
Life goes on.
Also, he seems to be some trouble for Mr. Zhongli.
Boing, boing, boom!
Crumble!
That really hurt!
He's not taking a lot of damage.
From rock to dust, sooner or later.
Oh hey, you have a tree for a tail.
The enraged earth will not absolve you!
How do I dodge that?
Witness my great undertaking! Ha! Ha! Ah! Burst forth!
Oh. Orders given. Orders received. Wheel of life.
Fisher!
You say gotta shoot, I guess, but the only reason I have Fischl is because pure luck. Or pure circumstances.
For 1,000-year flame!
Watch out!
Allow me.
Or I am supposed to lose.
How can that...
Focus your efforts, Morax.
Oz, reveal thyself!
Dumpty Dumpty Crumble! Boing Boing Boom! That really hurt!
Where are you going?
This one's not enough. You would forsake me again?
If that is what you choose to believe, so be it. He who bears the weight of memory is destined to shoulder the burden of truth, as it ought to be.
Wonder how much of a story you've avoided by winning things you're supposed to lose. That's... That depends on the game, I guess. Ah, you're a pain.
Go.
Not sure what I'm supposed to do about earthquakes.
La la la.
Well,
Was an accident.
we can lose now.
Cowardly insects!
Burst forth.
Fisher!
Rise!
Rise. Wow.
Enraged Earth, Morax! You think you can destroy me?
We still have dialogue left.
This realm is no home for a princess.
Apparently no home for a princess.
Solidify!
Life goes on.
Crumble!
Solidify!
Go.
There is no atonement
La la
for
la.
1,000-year pain!
Can you stop?
That really hurt.
He's not good at stopping. That's not what I wanted.
This is order.
That's a lot of damage.
Solidify!
Maybe I was just supposed to be using Song Li after all.
Wheel of life.
Go! Stop pressing Fischl. Because his shield seems to be doing quite well at not getting damaged. Oh, hey there, tree.
Stabilize!
Enraged Earth will not absolve you!
Yeah, this kinda works much better suddenly.
Stabilize!
I didn't know he could make a shield. That's my own fault.
Morax, 1,000 years after you sealed me underground, you return for the second time.
You should call it by its name, Ashtaha. Fate.
Fate? Fate? So here lies the wisdom of the gods. Destroy all deemed redundant. Enlist tyrants to ravage the wilderness.
No. You have forgotten.
That voice!
The person who revived us was...
Ashtaha.
Oh, hi.
Huh? Kunjun?
Morax. It's been a while.
You're...
Ajdaha. The very same.
Conjun, question mark?
During the battle, you imbued us with your power.
Yes, it was all I could manage.
Then, which one is the real Ajdaha? Little girl or glasses man?
Forgive me for concealing the truth, traveler. There were things that only became clear to me upon reaching this tree. Allow me to elaborate. I am not Ajdaha the whole, but a fragment. Heaven and earth, yin and yang, opposing forces. You can consider the existence of me and the Ajdaha you see there to be a reflection of such polarities. We are a schism of the will of Ajdaha.
So there are two Ajdahas?
No, it's Ajdaha.
No, it can't be. That's impossible.
When the seal loosened, your power manifested in this world as a child. With this new identity, you were able to vent about the forces that suppressed you. But would anyone listen? Would they even care? That's when it occurred to you. The loosening of the seal constituted an opportunity to strike back. Kidnapping the miners was all in aid of digging to the entrance to the seal itself. Your plan was to launch an attack on both ends, from outside and within, thereby fully destroying the seal.
The audacity! Are you insane? If you truly are a part of me, how is it you find yourself standing on the side of the betrayer?
I was another power awakened with the loosening of the seal. Too weak to reincarnate, but strong enough to possess a human body. I was barely conscious. I couldn't remember who I was. Only the past would elicit a reaction from me. But my aim was clear. Find Morax and aid him in stopping you.
I had sensed that something was amiss when you mentioned Dragonfall. Had your power been but a little stronger, I would have recognized you.
Don't blame yourself. I have changed beyond all recognition. Only when I touched the stone tablet did I truly remember. It's been so long. A secret beyond all comprehension of youthful humanity and ancient dragonkind. Morax, do you want to tell the tale?
There would be no harm in it. The decision is yours.
You haven't changed. Then allow me. Ajdaha was once a friend and ally of the Geo-Archon Morax, with a lifespan far exceeding that of mankind. However, that which is derived of the Earth is no more or less than the Earth itself. The memories of rocks do not last long. Those memories that survive are rooted in powerful emotion. But as time passes, so these memories fade into obscurity. Erosion is the world's greatest destroyer of memories.
Erosion.
Erosion ground Ajdaha's consciousness into oblivion. Slowly, he forgot the face of his old friend, and his memories of defending Liyue Harbor disintegrated. Ajdaha, now incomplete, became irascible, aggressive,
What would you expect? It was humanity that attacked the ley lines that sustained me.
This much is true, which is why you attacked the chasm, why you waged war against Morax. In the beginning, in order to open up new territory and increase production, the citizens of Liyue came to the mountains to mine. Overexploitation caused the ley lines to quake, which brought untold suffering to us. Erosion made us even more savage. No matter how we struggled, we lost the ability to coexist with humanity. We lost all reason. Morax shared with us some of his power to prevent further erosion, but it was futile. Everything returns to dust. It is the natural order, an unstoppable force. And so, we became you. And from your will, I emerged. I am your final contract. Witness the promise between Ajdaha and Morax. You can hate me, but you cannot deny me.
Can't break contracts in this game.
No. No!
I am the remnants of Ajdaha's benevolence, the echo of a contract set in stone. I harbor a willingness to go further, a willingness to coexist peacefully with mankind.
No, no! It is I, Ajdaha, forged of elemental crystal, bearer of the weight and memories of the earth, older than the mountains and the oceans that decides. I will not swear allegiance to this insect.
Morax is not an insect.
A lord over insects is nothing but an insect in turn.
You forgot yourself. Nobody held Morax in higher regard than you or I. That which you have forgotten, I hold here in my heart. If you are the memory of the earth, then I am the memory of coexistence. Of coexistence with humanity. All powers under heaven, rise and fall of land and sea.
A star appears within the wild. A sun ascends as bright as Jade. Strange. What is this feeling? And all this?
You are spent, and I will soon disappear. Before I do, heed these words. In the wilderness, snow falls on a spring day. In an instant, it will melt. Even where it is fleeting and leaves no trace. Even where it will never fall again.
No! That isn't true! I don't accept this as fate!
Perhaps it isn't, but it remains an inevitable misfortune.
More axe!
The little girl vanished!
He wrote it.
Are you satisfied, Ajdaha?
I had to make amends. Satisfaction had no part in it. So, Morax, you call yourself Zhongli these days?
I do.
Well, I'm afraid old habits die hard. To me, you're Morax.
As you please.
I never did forget your gift of sight.
I hardly lifted a finger. Think nothing of it.
So that foreman, hiring 2 guards and stuff. Well, he sure had luck there.
And yet, you could see. You wouldn't know the yearning of a blind dragon, searching for the sun. A pair of eyes, from Morax to Ajda. This. I will remember this.
Your power is nearly spent.
Ah. Perceptive as always, my friend.
Shall we get going, you and I?
Surely the pressing matter is still that of the miners trapped outside the seal.
Indeed. Hence the need to get going. To fix the damage left in your wake.
Straight down to business as always. Let's go.
Well, that happened. I'm assuming there is no... No, there is treasure. Well, bye, little girl. And welcome back, loading screens.
Huh? How did we get here? We need to go back and check on the miners!
So there you are. My men and I found your clues and followed them straight here. We found Mao in a tent at the campsite unconscious. It seems he'll be okay. Sadly, we found no trace of the other three. Huh? Young Kun, what is...
Nothing. Pay it no mind. Those three miners are over there, in that cave.
Cave? What happened?
To your voice, also.
They're exhausted, but not in danger. Don't worry.
Right. Well, thank you, all of you. I better go and see how they're doing.
So you're taking them back to Liyue Harbor?
That's right.
Can I come with you?
No problem. You rescued my men. I'll be happy to assist all of you in any way I can. I'll be back soon. I need to assess their condition.
Kunjun, we should be calling you Ajda. You're coming back to Liyue Harbor too, right?
Not I. Merely this body. Once I'm gone, the true owner will accompany the miners back to Liyue. Kunjun hails from a family of famous artisans. He too will be famous in time. It would be a shame for someone of his talent to go missing.
You always did have a great admiration for blacksmiths.
Curious how swords and daggers are blind, yet their creators see so much. Perhaps empathy is mankind's proudest achievement after all.
Ajda, I am no longer the Geo Archon.
I can sense it.
Today I am just an ordinary citizen of Liyue.
Even you met such a fate. Let's get the difficult part out of the way. I cannot guarantee that I won't be awoken a second time.
No matter. If that day comes to pass, Liyue must prepare itself to face you.
And how will Liyue fare without Rex Lapis?
Even without a god above, this remains a nation of men. I was once their god. I ought to be here to witness their rise and fall.
All life is shaped and then ground away by the endless flow of time. You were always the strongest among us. Yet, it would seem that even you have been eroded. That's unimportant. Fate is ordained by heaven. Even if our mission had already concluded, it would be cowardly not to strike out on the road of departure. You may live forever, doomed to a lonely existence. Yet, even this is temporary. When you reach the end of time, those people, those past and future relationships predetermined by fate, they will be waiting for you.
I do not pretend to match your rhetoric when it comes to the subject of a life long lived. I fear that the life of an elemental being is longer than any in this world.
Were it not so, you would have killed me long ago, and would not be having to face me again now.
You've brought a smile to my face. When all is said and done, a reunion between old friends is an auspicious occasion.
That day in the chasm, did you hesitate?
A heart of stone is a heart nonetheless. But I am the god of contracts, and was for a time a god of the people of Liyue.
You chose justice, but did not forsake your kindness. You came to me not as an assassin, and so I was willingly sealed away.
The movements of the Earth Dragon can tremble the earth and shake the heavens. With your abilities, even at my full strength, I struggled to confront you, let alone seal you away.
Hence my inception. Do not forget that I was there with Liyue's founder. The face may have changed, but the content of the contract remains intact. Old friend, god of contracts, I hereby honor our agreement.
Thank you, Ashtaha.
My life is at an end. I will join the eternal flow of time. And you, Morax, you will live for many a day to come.
That meant something completely different. My life is at an end is not nigh on eternal, but sure.
You're leaving?
If it is fated, Morax, we will meet again.
So is this the real Kunjun?
Yes. Don't be alarmed. He's only asleep.
Whoa, that was so weird. It was like he suddenly became another person.
In fact, we have yet to meet the real Kunjun.
But what about Ashtaha? He was a great friend of yours.
He was. Centuries may have passed since then, but events from 1,000 years ago remain crystal clear in my mind.
In our last tale, Rex Lapis was walking alone in the mountains. He heard a remote voice, unlike any other, coming from a crack in the earth.
Most of the ancient geo-life forms that live below Liyue are blind, having not seen the sunlight for an age.
The voice was sometimes sad and song-like. Other times it was loud and thunderous. The Lord of Geo searched here and there before finally unearthing a strange stone from the bedrock.
That's how Azhdaha was. I answered his wish and took him above ground.
The Lord of Geo took pity on the rock spirit and carved it into a magnificent work of craftsmanship, a vivid representation of a dragon.
I bestowed him with a pair of eyes to see the world and came to an agreement with him.
With his fingers, he made 2 eyes. Quicker than words could tell, lightning flashed and thunder roared, and a living, breathing dragon soared into the clouds.
I agreed to let him live among the people above ground. But if the day ever came when he brought ruin to order, he would once again be sealed in the dark.
The dragon accompanied the Lord of Geo, fighting campaigns alongside him in the 4 corners of the world. We have a saying to eulogize these events. The crash of a spear brought billowing dust. The mountains and waters made way at the sound. The sight of a dragon bestowed with a touch the promise of rainwater blessing the ground.
Seems all's well that ends well.
1,000 years ago, Azhdaha attacked the chasm. I tried to obstruct him, fighting him tooth and nail down the length and breadth of the mine. Finally, I brought him down and sealed him underground. During that battle, Dragonfall was born. Azhdaha could sense the stone. Subconsciously, he wanted to use it to find me. Despite being the victor, I could not claim to be stronger than he. And in his heart, he still retained an ounce of goodwill towards me. Towards Liyue. Towards life above ground. He was willing to be sealed away. But as the erosion set in, he forgot.
Have you also been affected by erosion?
Even I cannot avoid it. But there is something I understand better than most. When the door opens, it is time to leave. The greater the power, the greater the danger erosion may bring about. The millennia may come and go, but even a stone may tire.
Is that why you chose to leave?
Personally sealing away an old friend. This is just one form of erosion I have endured. People abandon and surrender the things they love to pursue the right path. Perhaps this is the erosion imposed on me by the natural order of this world. That I was a god of mankind. My identity may change, but my eyes will bear witness to the history of humanity.
You still care a lot about Liyue.
Call it part of my duty. I must thank you both.
No worries.
Hold on. I want to ask you something.
Oh? About what?
My brother.
Oh yeah, Paimon nearly forgot. So, not long ago, we met a guy called Dane.
Plot?
He told us about Conria and the punishment of the gods. That's when we realized that those events were connected to the person we're searching for.
My sibling.
Zhongli, you're a god. You've lived through thousands of years of history. Surely you experienced the incident?
Has it eroded from your mind?
I cannot say.
Why? You can't even give us a thread of information? This is so important to us.
I understand. But I must apologize. This is my contract.
Oh ho.
You mean another past grievance? Like the incident with Ejdah? Too painful to talk about?
It was signed before it all began. I have always honored the contract. And kept my silence.
So you're not gonna help us anymore?
How can you be like that?
You two are friends to me. I can assure it brings me no pleasure to disappoint you. But as the god of contracts, I cannot go back on my word.
I believe you.
Would you be ready to find out?
Perhaps.
It appears your understanding of this world continues to grow. There are many events of ages past, many secrets that lie hidden.
And also slimes.
They have been eroded by time, forgotten by the people, abandoned. But you are capable of finding them and bringing them into the light. Those who come to witness will witness. Those who are born to remember will remember. If you take the same road as that person, there may be more difficulties ahead. But as long as you firmly believe that you are on the right path, everything has meaning.
What was that item we just got? Dream solvent. Dream solvent.
This tablet was erected by Mountain Shaper. It names Ejdah as a terrible dragon, and serves as a warning for later generations to stay away from this place, from the seal. It's a shame. There is a fine line between good and evil. If the good and evil within him could be summarized in a single sentence... Well, never mind.
Amidst the quiet, only the soft sound of the wind can be heard. Time seems to transform into an invisible river, trickling away. A fleeting moment, 1,000 years in the mortal world. The rocks feel it, and so too does the earth and the gods. What did we just get? It's not in here. Dream solvent, consumable. An item capable of changing characters' level up materials obtained from memories and trials into whatever form is needed. Interesting. People once believed that the spirits and memories had some material form. If someone dreamed of heaven before waking up clutching a flower, then that blossom must have been made from such a fantasy. Dream solvent dissolves that which is obtained from memory and transforms it into some other dream. Indeed, blows traded with the strong are stepping stones towards becoming stronger yourself. Oh, I already have 3 of them, unless I just got 3 of them.
I created another universe and founded paradise, for I, Fischl, am the Prinzessin der Verirrt...
Sure. Beneath the Dragon Queller, Across the long years, this bed of rock, carved into the very heart of the world, has imprisoned Aistahar like a coffin. Seems he has now become a boss we can fight over and over again. How fun. But I don't think that's something we're gonna do now.
I do worry about the well-being of my retinue during my impromptu absence.
I'm sure the good people of the Adventurers Guild are absolutely fine, mein Fräulein.
You talk a lot, Fischl. Anyways, it's time to have some tea and think about what we just did. A teapot to call home. Part 1. Talk to Madame Ping. The crisis looming over Liyue Harbor has calmed, and it's business as usual in the city. However, Madame Ping, the flower admirer from Yujing Terrace, seems to have something more to discuss with you. Talk a lot, but with whom? She's talking with Oz.
By royal decree!
This bird. You surely remember Madame Ping. She let us enter her teapot before.
Ah, children, come, come. You've arrived at just the right moment. I've been looking for you.
Oh, what is it, Granny? Need any help?
Oh, no. You've done so much for Liyue Harbor already. I could hardly ask for more. In fact, my old friends and I have been putting our heads together to think of what sort of gift we might give you in return.
A gift? For Paimon?
You're too kind.
Oh, child, you are so very modest. Uncommonly so, even. But you mustn't decline this gift. I simply won't allow it. When you traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell, I heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds. That simply won't do, especially since I imagine you still have a very long journey ahead of you. Fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as to see my subspace creation abilities atrophy.
What's subspace creation?
Oh, did my friends never mention that to you? Well then, it is a blessing we old folks once received from Rex Lapis, part of our illumination, if you will. I will not go into too much detail, but subspace creation is the ability to create a small, autonomous pocket world. The teapot that you entered previously was a little trinket created using that ability.
A trinket, you say?
So, in the eyes of an Adeptus, creating a magic teapot world is just child's play, huh?
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create a world of one's own. Rex Lapis, on the other hand, moved mountains and seas. That is what one might call an exercise of true power. But that's enough nostalgia for now. The gift that I have prepared for you just requires a few final materials to add the finishing touch.
I can help you look for them.
That's right! Finding stuff's what we're good at, after all.
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need for you to go running hither and thither. I have already found a fleet-footed youngster to prepare what I need.
Oh, good.
What's more, I doubt that you would know how to find the materials I am searching for. Some of them are very rare indeed these days.
And what are those, if I might ask?
Well, for starters, I require some shimmer soil from the banks of Dihua Marsh. Back in the day, it could only be found where the glazed lilies thrived most profusely. You would have to dig downward, following the roots of the glazed lilies, and if you were lucky enough, you just might find a small patch of shimmer soil there. But almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this manner since Dihua Marsh came to be the way it is today. Even more difficult to find is Smaragdus Jadeite, which must be chiseled from the rock of the chasm. Or so it used to be. Ever since the Blackcliff Forge opened for business, they've slowly but surely stripped the mines all but completely bare of it.
All those miners getting in our way.
In any case, Smaragdus Jadeite is an Adepti treasure, and the Adeptal power within is not something that most humans can withstand. Extended contact with it is, in fact, harmful to humans.
Is it uranium?
Goodness knows if that child will succeed in finding these items.
Who is this child?
Well, since you're an Adeptus, Granny, the person you asked for help, they must be an Adeptus too, right?
Yes. I suppose she does count as an Adeptus.
Have you sent Ganyu?
She counts? How come there are so many Adepti in Liyue Harbor? We seem to bump into them all the time. It feels like even when you go out to eat, you could be sitting next to an Adeptus and never even know it.
Oh, maybe so. Who can say? A fair few of my old friends are rather fond of mundane mortal life, after all.
Oh, wait, no. I think I know.
I'm back, Granny.
The new character that was released this update. I always forget that she's also of Adepti blood. But it's nice that we get to meet her.
Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Allow me to do the honors. This child here is Yen Fei. She's the one helping run some errands for me. Yen Fei, I believe you've already heard of the Traveler and her traveling companion.
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records. You became one of Liyue's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. After which, you fought off the Millilith at Julian Karst and made contact with the Fatui. Before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being cleared of any and all suspicion by the Chiseng. What a shame.
Shame.
A shame that we didn't meet sooner.
Are those real horns?
If we had,
Antlers?
well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately, but it certainly would have been less, embarrassing for you. Allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yanfei, a legal advisor. Got a legal problem? You can come right to me. Oh, yes, here's my business card. You'll find it has my contact details and office address. Keep it handy.
Are those scales part of your skin? Are you a dragon?
If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount for first-time customers.
All right, Yanfei, all right. Let's get to the business at hand. I do not think these two are in any dire need of legal assistance at the moment. You'll have to excuse Yanfei. She's always been like this, ever the talkative one when it comes to her own affairs.
Are you really an Adeptus?
Paimon was gonna ask the same question. You seem really different from the ones we've met before.
An Adeptus? I guess. Kinda. My old man said he was one anyway. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time, and then after that was all over, he went back and married my mom. They had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny here.
Okay.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts to protect Liyue Harbor and all that stuff? What do you mean he just went back to get married?
Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis, and that he was fine with it. Even contributed towards the wedding gift, apparently.
That sounds like him.
Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the stuff you asked for, except for Smaragdus Jadeite. I couldn't find any at all.
No uranium. Too bad.
The chasm's been sealed off, and there's just no way in. Couldn't secure any documentation either. Looks like the Ministry of Civil Affairs is serious about keeping it strictly locked down.
Is that so? But Smaragdus Jadeite is really rather essential. Yanfei, are you sure you can't find some other way? They have helped Liyue greatly, after all. It is only right that they are duly rewarded.
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's definitely a no-go, but there's still a chance we can figure out some alternative means of procurement.
When will we get to enter the chasm?
Hold on a moment. Let me have a look.
That's a good look on you, Paimon.
Whoa, that's a really thick book. What kind of things do you write in there?
Commercial consultancy. Or Snezhnaya. Ah, found him. Krusell! A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal queries on certain articles in the legal codices. If my memory serves, all of them had to do with rare ores.
Facebook. Yes.
He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus Jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know if there were any legal ramifications that he should be aware of. Said he was planning to sell them in Snezhnaya. So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll have gotten his hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite, or might have an idea of where we can find some.
We'll come with you.
Oh, you want to join me? I suppose that's no problem, but it's best if you just stand by and watch. If you try to get involved, you'll only risk placing yourself in legal jeopardy.
Wow, an Adeptus imploring us to avoid incurring legal liability. Well, that's a first for sure. Best we be a little more careful than usual while we're with her.
Your personal safety.
Go.
Hello, Mr. Crossell. How's business been?
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei. What brings you here today?
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned that you were looking to source some Smaragdus Jadeite to make hairpins. Have there been any further developments on this front?
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, in the end I did acquire a small piece of Smaragdus Jadeite and had it fashioned into a pair of hairpins. Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize, I've already rented them out to a lady named Zhiqiao. If you'd like to inspect them, you may have to wait quite some time.
Yay, uranium hairpins.
Wait, isn't Smaragdus Jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost while they're being rented out?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Miss Zhiqiao before renting them to her.
And contracts cannot be broken.
The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must compensate me for its full original value. In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus Jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Miss Zhiqiao in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
No ambiguities here.
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false. Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness, each of us has retained an original copy of the contract.
Neither Smaragdus nor Jadeite contain uranium. Well, why is it bad for humans?
In that case, might you know where Miss Zhiqiao lives? We'd like to pay her a visit and have a look at the hairpins.
And steal them.
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our contract. Here, I'll mark it on your map for you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossell. We'll be off now.
Oh, just 35 meters. Oh, nice.
I'm bored. Want to see some action.
Woo!
35 meters in a straight line, I guess.
La la la.
Did you lose them? You are facepalming.
Oh, whatever shall I do?
Excuse me. Are you Zhiqiao?
Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with?
How do you do, Miss Zhiqiao? We understand from Mr. Crossell that you recently rented a pair of hairpins from him. My associates and I are very interested in them. Would you mind letting us take a look at them?
The hairpins? I can't lend them to you right now. I've lost them.
Well,
I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn them yet. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, there's no way I could come up with that amount of money on such short notice.
why did you need them in the first place?
My family is in the ore business too, but business has been suffering ever since the chasm was sealed off. We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore merchants to complete them. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this opportunity to mingle and discuss prices. That's what the hairpins were for, to keep up appearances. I can't have them looking down on me. But now that I've lost the hairpins, what will I do?
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of deja vu?
Maybe because this is the part where we say, we can help.
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Miss Zhou, would you let me have a look at the rental contract you signed?
Huh? Well, I mean, sure, I have it right here. Here you are.
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? Maybe she can help Zhou somehow.
That would be a little unfair to Crossed.
True. Though surely there must be a win-win solution.
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay Mr. Crossell the original value of the hairpins as compensation for the loss. Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation must take current market prices into account. And given the rarity of Smaragdus Jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation may end up being significantly higher as a result.
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Zhou looks like she's about to faint.
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid into the hairpins.
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, so how exactly would we be able to find out if the Jadeite is genuine or not? Whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding those hairpins.
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need to check whether the Jadeite is genuine, would there?
Schrödinger's hairpins.
Seems right.
Please, don't trouble yourselves over this. The fact is, I lost the item, and I should pay compensation per the contract.
It's such a huge sum of money, though.
However much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants, after all. It's vital that we keep our word and respect our contracts. Now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossell in the dark any longer. I'll go and inform him of the issue, and then negotiate the amount of compensation.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. But before that, I have some questions about the hairpins. So hold on a moment, Mr. Chow. When you first touched the hairpins, what did you feel?
I felt poisoned. I felt like I would die.
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstones set into the pins were perfectly smooth to the touch, like the finest quality jade. My family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past, so I am quite certain of my judgment in this matter.
Smooth to the touch. Finest quality jade.
Something the matter?
No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things. Let's head over to Mr. Crossell's.
Let the legal battle begin.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Zhiqiao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins? I trust you're quite satisfied with them?
About that.
You lost them? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how expensive they were?
I'm sorry. Truly I am. I'll pay the compensation as per our contract. Every last mora.
Mora? Do you have any idea what I had to go through to get my hands on that Smaragdus Jadeite? I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her estimate the amount that needs to be paid.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes, and if I may just confirm again, it was in fact genuine Smaragdus Jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course! Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow in compensation. Please wait here, Mr. Crossell.
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every last mora that they're worth.
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something to discuss with you. It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and talk in more detail.
Quite the runaround. I guess that is what I got for asking for something calm after the storm.
Miss Yanfei, what is this about? Are you here to tell me how much I owe?
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the ore inlaid on those hairpins may not be Smaragdus Jadeite after all.
Really?
What do you mean? Are you implying that you already sneaked off and found them?
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say I made some deductions. I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus Jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy. If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of personality. It most certainly would not be smooth to the touch. Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell while the hairpins were in your possession?
No, not at all. I felt perfectly fine the whole time. Not even the slightest bit unwell. I didn't feel anything special at all, in fact.
Now that is strange. I noticed earlier that there were elemental traces in Mr. Crossell's vicinity. If I've deduced correctly, he may still have the Smaragdus Jadeite in his possession.
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now and expose his dirty scam right to his face!
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it. Eventually, he would find some argument to compel us to leave. And then, he'd throw the Smaragdus Jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. He would lose nothing. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still exist somewhere in this world.
A very vivid description.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be experience talking.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them. Fortunately, I have far more elegant solutions at my disposal. I'll share them with you in due course.
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing with problems like this, perhaps you could help me, Miss Yanfei.
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, could I ask you to please sign this contract?
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon can't even keep track.
If I had one Mora for every time I heard the word contract, I'd have a lot of Mora.
It feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them than a certain someone else we know.
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice, but for me to investigate any further, I require a written contract. Any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I understand. Then I will be glad to place this matter into your capable hands if you will take it, Miss Yunfei.
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. Now write your address here, and then sign on this page as well. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you could just use this ink pad to make a handprint over here.
This contract has so many pages. Paimon's all out of brain juice again.
Such an ordeal.
Alright, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through and let me know if you have any questions.
I've had a read through. Everything checks out.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy.
Need me to do anything?
Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually be quite straightforward to resolve, once we've got some things squared away. I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which case, hopefully this should be quite the experience.
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask, why are you helping me?
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus Jadeite myself. I noticed strong traces of geo-energy around Mr. Crossel, so perhaps he has, in fact, secured some. Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter, but either way, it's a lead. As long as we follow it, who knows? We might just be able to get our hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite. Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage, I won't stand for it. But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... where can we find someone who processes ore? Ha! I've got it! Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery. He's a professional when it comes to working with stone and ore. If Mr. Crossel had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first choice.
That guy.
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to... Oh! It's you, Miss Yanfei. Is something the matter? Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and no one can ever win? Oh, I swear on all that is sacred.
I sure have never won. And I've played your damn lottery quite a few times.
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnayan merchant named Crossel enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
A Snezhnayan merchant named Crossel, you say? I do remember that. He brought me a piece of ore, claiming that it was Smaragdus Jadeite. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus Jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from me to contradict them. He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't give it too much thought. I processed the ore as per his request.
Do you have any leftover debris from your work on it?
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so I kept a few loose shavings to study myself later. They're right over there, in fact.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at them.
We'll all be contaminated by the end of this.
Huh? If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross-sections and patterning suggest that these are Smaragdus nephrite shavings.
Nephrite?
Yes. It's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry all the time. I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite, though no one's ever proven it.
A thin layer of separation, huh?
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy. Smaragdus nephrite is an entirely ordinary ore, containing no elemental energy whatsoever.
Funny enough, jadeite and nephrite are really hard to distinguish. It's good to know that someone knows their ores.
Is that so? Well, we might as well give Elemental Sight a shot. So, did you find anything?
Not a trace of elemental energy.
So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao was able to tell what it was just by looking at the shards? That's pretty awesome.
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time.
Why couldn't she tell them apart?
These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart. There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an astronomical difference in terms of the market price. And, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
Alright, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
But, never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr. Crossell...
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take some of these shavings back to Chateau.
Miss Yanfei? Might I be so bold as to inquire,
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossell did indeed claim that the ore he brought to your store was in fact Smaragdus jadeite, did he not?
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here. It says quite clearly, 1 chunk Smaragdus jadeite, uncut.
Then I have no further questions. But could I borrow the processing record and these stone shavings?
Of course. But might I ask why you need them?
Oh, I have my reasons. Yes. Please sign here on this affidavit. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the, ore that Mr. Crossell brought to your store. Please read it carefully.
His voice is quite something, yes.
Yes, I see. Forgive me for asking again, Miss Yanfei, but might I know the nature of the incident on this occasion?
I wouldn't say there's been an incident, just a minor issue. Thank you, sir. I'll take these with me.
With this hard evidence to back us up, Crossell won't dare try to deny what he did.
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a case. We need to find something a little more compelling. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Nope. Aha! Got it! Xingxi. She often helps people to find a jewelsmith. Let's go pay her a visit.
Well, that was quick. How come you know so many people?
She has the telephone book.
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts. And contracts, well, I should say laws, are very important to us. But the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. How can I put this? It just seems like they're hard to understand and impossible to finish. As such, legal advisors like myself provide quite the popular service indeed.
So you help them make sense of the law. But didn't you say that it's hard to understand and impossible to finish?
Yes, well, that's no obstacle because I've memorized all the legal codices.
You memorized them?
You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a legal advisor's bread and butter, you know?
Is this how Adepti become so adept at everything?
Oh, this has nothing to do with being an Adeptus. I just like reading things.
Again with that casual tone.
Well, that's that then. Let's go look for Singsi.
You aren't following me. Too bad.
Oh, Miss Yenfei, it's you. Has something happened? Did the client from last time,
Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, of course. I'm just here to ask you a few questions.
I have a feeling not many people like you, Yenfei.
Has a merchant by the name of Crossel asked you to put him in contact with a jewelsmith recently?
Everyone's afraid as soon as you appear before them.
Krosel? Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant from Snezhnaya, no? Yeah, he came to me with a chunk of something he called Smaragdus Jadeite. The design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. Eventually, I found an older jewelsmith who made them exactly according to his specifications. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed quite recently, which is why I remember it so well.
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be found here.
Miss Singsi, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossel commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did he not assert that the material he presented to you that day was called Smaragdus Jadeite?
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction on record with the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Mr. Krosel wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures, so I filed it on his behalf. I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself, the item is called Smaragdus Jadeite Twin Phoenix Pins. The inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus Jadeite. The document even has the official seal of the ministry on it.
Thank you, Singsi. Now, could you let me borrow this document?
Sure, it isn't serving much purpose here anyway. I take it then that there's been some more trouble?
Nothing you need to worry about, just a minor issue. I'll return your document as soon as I'm done with it. Thanks again!
Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something is in trouble?
Must be the nature of legal consultancy.
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make one last trip. Let's go to Boo Boo Pharmacy to speak with Dr. Baiju.
Baiju?
The weirdo with the snake around his neck? What do you want to speak to him for?
Haven't met him in a while.
Because only he can provide an authoritative statement confirming that Smaragdus Jadeite is harmful to the human body. Once we have this final piece of evidence in our hands, we can wrap this case up.
Getting a lot of paperwork.
Faster? Okay, faster.
Will we meet regular Kwee-Kwee, Chi-Chi, whatever? Probably not.
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out gathering herbs.
Well, too bad. Then we're gonna leave.
And if it isn't Miss Yenfei as well? Now that's an even rarer honor. What business brings you here, might I inquire? Some charlatans peddling ineffectual medicines again, no doubt?
Wonder when you will become playable. You sure look like someone who would become playable.
No. I'm here this time to ask if you're familiar with Smaragdus Jadeite.
Smaragdus Jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it included in the 6th commentary on the 7 Mountain Treatises. The 7 Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains, and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case scenario, they fall ill. Worst case scenario, they'll suffer great changes in personality, and their illness will only ever get worse.
The snake will become playable. Better than nothing.
Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat. Knowing you, Yanfei, and given the specific nature of your question, I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical peculiarities of Smaragdus jadeite?
That is indeed the case. If you would be so kind, Dr. Baiju.
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. I would mention, though, that you are not the only one who's developed a curiosity for Smaragdus jadeite recently. A Snezhnayan merchant came to ask me about it not long ago.
Oh.
But after I gave him my reply, his expression shifted to one of remarkable disappointment. I wonder, Miss Yanfei, if your pressing business might be related to this Snezhnayan merchant?
Everything is always related to Snezhnayan people being evil, it seems. Or bad, at least.
Ah, you needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baiju. Thank you for penning us that document. I'll make sure to compensate you in due course.
You're too kind. Take care now.
That Baiju guy is as weird as ever. Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something
show me your
there?
prescription.
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossell.
Breathe.
Take care now, everyone.
Faster? Okay, faster. Faster? Okay, faster. I'm fine. Not scared.
My friend, what can I get you?
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation? I trust you will now be in a position to assess the compensation due.
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded. I can now provide a final figure for the amount payable.
Wonderful. Well then, please, could you do the honors, Miss Yanfei?
Of course. According to the stipulations of the contract, Mr. Crossell, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her? Surely there's been some kind of mistake, Miss Yanfei.
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus jadeite that was inlaid within the Smaragdus jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow was, in fact, Smaragdus nephrite. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you are liable for this sum, which is payable to Mr. Chow in Mora.
Material evidence? What material evidence? Why, Miss Yanfei, you cannot frame me like this. I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid on the hairpins is somehow fake? I demand to see your evidence.
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, please produce the evidence in question.
Testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore. So... Jade Mystery.
This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit signed by the business owner, Chateau.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between Smaragdus Jadeite and Smaragdus Nephrite. How does this prove anything? In any case, Smaragdus Nephrite is the outer layer of Smaragdus Jadeite. So I had him cut away the Nephrite, he returned the valuable Jadeite core to me, and some Nephrite samples remain in the store. What am I missing exactly?
That's an unsubstantiated belief.
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated. And we are here to talk about evidence, aren't we?
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't convince him at all. Seems like he came prepared. What should we do next?
Hard evidence, something legally binding. We have just the thing. Show him, Traveler.
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the Ministry's seal, after all. It shows that the ore inlaid on the pins is indeed Smaragdus Jadeite.
Our second piece of evidence didn't work either. And this guy's getting more belligerent by the second.
You know, you could be right. Perhaps the hairpins are the real deal after all.
Of course I'm right. All the evidence shown supports my story.
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall one final piece of evidence that we haven't revealed yet. Traveler, would you do the honors? This shall serve as decisive proof of our case.
The Jade Mystery, again! No.
What's this?
Smaragdus Jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. Sustained contact with Smaragdus Jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, cause a mild malady, while in serious cases, the patient may suffer a dramatic change of personality and fall seriously ill. Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar properties of Smaragdus Jadeite?
I had no idea.
No idea, you say? I'd guessed as much. But for you to have rented out such a dangerous item, I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil Affairs. However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient considering that, as you say, you were ignorant of the danger you posed. Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here will be handed over to the Ministry. I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
I realized just now that the title of this stream is very accurate.
What? Wait! I knew.
Oh, so you knew? Oh dear, Mr. Crossell. But if you knew of Smaragdus Jadeite's dangerous properties beforehand, why would you...
Huh? No, The hairpins aren't actually
inlaid with genuine Smaragdus Jadeite? Is that what you were about to say? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will have to pay Ms. Zerchow 10 times the original price in Mora? Mr. Crossell, your answer, please. My client and I are waiting.
Yep, he's seriously intimidating right now. It's like she's a different person.
Again, at legal consultancy. That's legal consultancy for you.
I admit it. I confess, the ore I had inlaid on those hairpins was Smaragdus Nephrite. But I'm a victim in all of this too. I invested a great deal of time and money into acquiring that small amount of Smaragdus Jadeite, in the hopes of turning it into a piece of jewelry that would fetch a fine price. But after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I couldn't sleep a wink or eat a single bite. I was in a constant state of agitation, too. I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. But how could I let all that money go to waste? That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus Nephrite, which is almost indistinguishable from Smaragdus Jadeite. I kept the real Smaragdus Jadeite in a specially made box. I daren't touch it again.
We'll confiscate that.
I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And then to top it all off, Jiqiao lost the hairpins after I rented them out to her.
So why did you change the... why did you charge... So why did you charge Xingxiao such an extraordinary rental price?
Exactly! If they weren't the real deal, why'd you make her pay so much?
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that Smaragdus Jadeite, some of my business partners found out. I knew they'd be watching closely to see how much I could make off it. If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hairpins, then my days in this line of business would be over.
Well, your days in this line of business are over.
Alright, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client. According to the contract, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original price in Mora, and that is final.
10 times?
Crosel looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow, 20% of that sum will go to me.
20%? That's as much as I spent on that Smaragdus Jadeite.
There's no need. It's fine. You don't have to pay me that much, Mora.
But contracts.
Even if the Smaragdus Jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility for losing them. Legally or not, I think I owe some compensation for that.
Ms. Jiqiao, you...
However, Mr. Crosel, since you have no use for that chunk of Smaragdus Jadeite, why don't you give it to me instead? I'll consider us even.
What? But all right then. This cursed rock's brought me enough grief as it is.
Miss Yunfei, I'll turn the Smaragdus Jadeite over to you. I trust that it will suffice as remuneration?
Well, that's not quite how the rules say this should go. But whatever, it'll do.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yunfei. When you have the time, I'll be sure to visit and express my thanks more appropriately.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony. Now, if I may confirm this again, Mr. Chow, have you and Mr. Crosel come to an understanding?
Well, yes, I believe we have.
Well then, that's good. Mr. Crosel, it seems that my client has no further claims against you.
Is that so? That's good. That's good.
Actually, Mr. Crosel, I'd like to talk business for a second, if I may.
No money transactions were harmed in the making of this quest.
I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works in the ore business, and we have a fair stock of fine ores. If we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores, I think we could do some fine business between us.
Some completely legal business.
Let me think for a moment.
Well, that's that. And we've got the Smaragdus Jadeite that Granny wants too. All's well that ends well, eh?
Yes, though there were some twists and turns along the way.
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, we end up searching all over the place for it. But this time, you managed to solve the problem with just a big stack of documents. Even though the solution didn't involve actually finding the hairpins.
The right solution depends on your perspective on the problem.
I look forward to finding those hairpins sometime down the line, for no reason.
The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, rather than looking high and low for some hairpins, Proving that the rented item was nowhere near worth what the vendor had claimed it to be was the more efficient solution.
Can't say I've ever met an Adeptus like you before.
An Adeptus. Speaking of, you took part in that battle, didn't you? In which case, you would have heard what Granny said. Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans. The title of Adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as a legal advisor. In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of today needs legal consultancy far more than it needs adeptal powers?
Paimon can think of someone who would definitely disagree with your reasoning.
I think there's more than just reason involved here, Paimon.
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to pay Granny a visit. I bet she's been on tenterhooks for a while now.
She probably just had some tea and waited.
If we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores, I think we could do some fine business between us.
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
Ah, you've returned. How did it go? Were you able to find the Smaragdus Jadeite?
We were, thanks to Yanfei.
Good, good. Then we have all the materials we need.
Almost forgot what this all was for.
Well, if we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now. Got a ton of clients waiting for me back at the office.
Oh, you. All right, then. Go see to your business. Granny should be able to handle the rest.
I'm off then. Bye! Oh yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't lose the business card I gave you.
For Marble Phantasm? No, for a Jade Phantasm.
I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever bump into any trouble with the law, come find me directly. Regulars get discounts too.
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not? If you have no wish to leave, perhaps you'd like to help me clean my teapot, hmm?
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
That child. Goodness knows where she learned to be so rambunctious. Her father was hardly so riotous or fond of talking nonsense back in the day when he stood beside Rex Lapis.
Truly unique Adeptus.
Ah, indeed she is. Liyue has changed, and the Adepti must also learn to change. Yanfei might be overly garrulous, but she is also the most intimately acquainted with the city among us all. Ah, Liyue is not the same place I once knew.
Granny.
All right, then. Let us speak of this no more. Back on topic. I believe that I still owe you a little gift.
I like gifts.
Oh, Paimon's so excited! How is it made?
And how long does it take?
It is but a single teapot. It shan't take long at all. Just wait here for a moment. There we go. This Serenity pot is all yours now.
High level pun. Serenity.
Hold it firmly. If you were to drop it, oh goodness, who knows what might happen.
Finally a place to live, you say?
Take these blueprints with you as well. You'll need them if you wish to make your teapot a little more lively inside.
Thanks, Granny.
Wait a minute, Granny! How exactly are we supposed to use this teapot?
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I've already arranged for a certain little helper to await you within this teapot. She will explain everything you need to know about it.
Serenity Pot unlocked. Quest objective is in your Serenity Pot.
Please be mindful of your personal safety.
Oh, it's a cage for Paimon. Switch to gadgets. Serenity Pot. A teapot obtained from Madame Ping. There seems to be a whole new realm within.
I hear the voice of fate, speaking my name in humble supplication.
Well, if it's fate, it is. Please select a realm layout. The floating abode, the Emerald Peak, or the Cool Isle. Floating abode, an island cluster suspended in midair. Typical feature of many Adepti realms, a boundless world featuring nothing besides a cluster of clouds. Emerald Peak, a cloud-piercing mountain peak. Well, that's how it looks, at least. But being inside a teapot and all, the highest mountain probably reaches no higher than the stalk of a tea leaf. Cool Isle, an island cluster surrounded by water. One wonders how many cups of tea can be brewed from this vast ocean. Now, what do I like best? What do I think would be a good new home? Emerald Peak looks nice, but we also have a lot of mountains just laying around in the real world. Meanwhile, the islands seem quite refreshing, while the floating abode is similar to the teapot Madame Ping herself uses. So I'm mostly thinking about either of those two. Like, this is beautiful. And this is also really nice. At least the isle doesn't require climbing. Yeah, let's try the isle. I wonder if we can switch later if we don't like it. Do you wish to set the realm layout to Cool Isle? Sure.
I do worry.
I do worry as well. Well, we have a new loading screen. Just what we wanted. Maybe I will unlock the other places later. That's also possible. I have no idea how this works. But I'm sure it will be explained to us. I can hear the waves already.
Wow! This teapot seems even bigger inside than Madame Ping's! There's even a great big house in the middle, too!
That sure is a house.
Huh. But there's just a whole load of nothing around it.
Get chiseling, Paimon. You could carve us a whole house out of this rock. Go dig a burrow to live in for now, I guess.
Paimon can't do that! Well, you're the one with the sword anyway, you do it!
Why would I chisel with a sword? Yeah, this game can be quite time consuming, but there's also really not much of a rush to do anything. Like, I'm playing all these quests in one sitting, but you could very well just do one part of it and then stop.
Still, why is it so empty here apart from that house? Oh, wait a second, what is that?
Something is moving. But first, let's explore a little bit. Well, that sure is the ocean. What does our map show? How big is this place? It's decently big. There's 2 teapots on the screen. Well, who are you?
Well, it seems that we have a visitor.
It's a huge finch!
Excuse me, I am not a finch. I am a teapot spirit, and you may call me... hang on a moment. What am I supposed to be called again?
Finch.
Oh, call me. I suppose you may call me Tubby.
Certainly looked the part.
So you're the little helper Madame Ping mentioned?
Madam Ping? Oh, you must mean Ping. Yes, she did summon me here. She told me much about you. You may leave all matters regarding the upkeep of this realm to me.
We have a finch maid.
Your journey may be far from over, but at least this way you will not want for a comfortable place to sleep each night.
So what's a teapot spirit exactly?
Though it is the Adepti who create realms such as this, they generally do not have the time of day to attend to the banal matter of their maintenance. Thus, we teapot spirits were created to help guard their realms and manage their affairs. You may consider me a butler, if you will.
Or a maid. I guess I shouldn't assume your gender. But you have a nice bow thingy.
Now, allow me to explain this realm to you.
I would very much like that if you did.
Have you any blueprints on you? Specifically, blueprints with beautiful rooms, chairs, and the like.
I think we do.
As long as you have a blueprint, you can refashion this realm however you please.
Blueprints? Oh, that's right! Granny handed us some when she gave us the teapot, didn't she? Let's take them out and have a look.
Yes, these are the blueprints I'm talking about. Go on, open them up. Just commit the image of the objects to memory and prepare the necessary materials.
If this looks like Rita to you, David, I don't know. I agree. And also, I'm not sure if this is Minecraft now. Don't see any blocks yet.
Then simply release the thought from your mind and the object in the blueprint shall appear within this teapot.
Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city inside, couldn't we?
As long as it's only as big as an island.
I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptus explained this to me at some point in the past. He said that even though subspace creation is a product of adeptal power, even that has its limits. This world is not a true one, after all. It provides merely a moment of brief respite from the mortal realm, not a means of escaping it entirely.
A golden-eyed adeptus? Paimon wonders who could that be?
I hardly remember myself. What's more, I have never seen that adeptus again since.
How very strange.
Well, let's not dwell on that. Have a look around. Best you get accustomed to this realm. If there's anything you would like to ask, just look for me.
Serenity Pot, important message. Maybe you need to rest more. After using and summoning the Serenity Pot, travelers can interact with it and enter the abode within. Travelers can use and summon the pot while they are
I created another universe and
Fischl,
founded
please.
paradise for I,
Please, Fischl, stop.
and the Prinzessin
While they are within this confines, interacting with the Serenity Pot in this state will allow the traveler to leave it. Travelers can also directly open the map interface and fast travel to any of the teleport waypoints to immediately leave the Serenity Pot. Talk to the Teapot spirit inside the pot to learn more and manage all manner of Teapot-related affairs. You can create all kinds of items from the creation screen. Materials you use to create items can be gathered all over the world. After obtaining and furnishing, use the place function to put it in position.
I hear the voice of fate,
Fischl.
speaking my name in humble supplication.
Fischl, please. Place furnishings to increase the adeptal energy rank of your Serenity Pot. As your adeptal energy rank increases, realm currency will accumulate at a faster rate. Spend realm currency in the realm depot to purchase various items. Once in a while, a Teapot traveling salesman will visit your abode. That's probably the other thing on the map. There is a chance that he will bring some rare treasures with him.
I do worry about the well-being of my retinue during my impromptu absence.
I'm sure the good people of the Adventurers Guild are absolutely fine, mein Fräulein.
If you acquire the blueprints for a furnishing set, you can place furnishings by batch. You can still make adjustments to individual furnishings when batch placing them. Albedo doesn't talk as much. Press F7 to open the placement screen. F7. Traveler, please ensure that you follow our terms of service while using the Serenity Pot system. To create a healthy gaming environment, please read and confirm that you will not instigate or take part in the creation of content that discriminates against any race, gender, religion, sexual orientation, ethnicity, government, or region, the bullying or insulting of any travelers or group of travelers, any of the content or behavior that violates the terms of service. We may have to restrict your use of the game services if you do not follow these rules. What can I build here that would not follow rules? This may include suspension, restriction, or permanent ban of the use of the Serenity system, forced disconnection, login suspension, or any
What of
automatic
you?
account ban.
How about a
At
quick
the
break so
same
I can
time,
sketch
you
this
are welcome
beautiful
to use the
scenery?
report function to send feedback to us should you encounter an informing situation. How many materials will I need to pre-arm hyper railguns? Well, definitely 100 Einstein Taurus, and I think 25 of the each of the other materials or something around that. Not sure what they are called right now. SC material something. That's just to make them preamps, not to actually make them called 6-star weapons. I accept. You had a good laugh on Fischl talking all this time. He is quite something. So, we have our island here. We have our house here. Courtyard. We have the courtyard, which has no furnishings. We have the building, which has a lot of things. Can't build whatever that is. Oh no, someone already got banned from the building system. What is this? Oh, it seems like some outdoor cooking place, possibly. Seems we have a lot of freedom in how to place it, it seems. Sure. Can we just as easily take it away? Yes. Animals? Animals sounds fun. Can I make an island full of cats? Oh, that's the big house. Save changes. Can you place it upside down? Or will that result in a ban? Who knows? So here's the thing we just built. Oh, it's a forge. That's actually cool. I can have my own forge wherever I go. Wait, before I go inside, let's go to that merchant or whatever it is. Yeah, well, that's what they were just talking about, that you could get banned from this. But I'm not intending to do anything stupid. Hi, Chubby.
The one before you is known as Jade Seeker. One travels far and wide, seeking naught but to witness all of the treasures this world has to offer.
What do you sell here?
Ah, encounters with fine treasures cannot be forced. This is something that only fate may decide.
I'm assuming this means you sell random things every time I... Dog! Furnishings, Shiba. Humanity's best friend. Legend has it that the Inazuma Shogun once greatly adored this canine breed, and they became one of the most well-loved pets in the 7 nations. They are gentle, loyal, and intelligent. From time to time, however, the voracious instinct will take over, causing them to pace about the kitchen, waiting anxiously for someone to feed. Sadly, no cats. Humanity's best friend, once bred by aristocrats of ancient times as hunting hounds. They are now known for being a loyal, reliable, and friendly breed. It's said that they still retain their hunting instincts, and even Paimon noticed that just Tubby yawning outside is enough to put them on alert. Too bad there's still no way to actually pet dogs. Also, we don't have any of the Realm currency. Currency of the realm, used within the Serene Teapot to exchange for various items. Also, we can put mountains on our island. Well, Tabby, how do I get currency? What's up here? Check the placement screen and save your furnishing placements. Claim. Now we got smoke leaf and flowers. Obtain 30 pieces of wood through cutting down trees. Obtain 3 pieces of wood through cutting down trees.
The truth of this world. What could it be?
You also like talking. Enter dimension will do. Dice, articles. Okay. Just do a lot of things. I understand. Also, there's a tree here. Can I cut you down? Not apparently.
La la la.
Let's enter dimension, because that was definitely one of our objectives. Okay, it's the music from the wine place. Also, this place is super empty, which I guess was to be expected. A wine o'clock. Okay, that's not a real room. Can even change the stairs, huh? Is that a bed? I guess it is. Let's just place things we have. Nobody will reach that bed. Not Minecraft, it's Sims, yeah. Oh, I can still reach that bed. I can't lie in it.
Da da da. Woo.
Maybe you're not used to the place at the moment, but once you've materialized enough rooms and furniture through subspace creation, it will feel just like home.
Trust rank. Ah, okay. This is that system they were talking about that slowly generates coins, I guess. As well as other things. Not bad. Don't know what the cheapest thing that owl was selling was. Oh, bird. Guess it's not an owl. Guess I can't cut down those trees either. This game is so complicated. I don't think it is. The only thing that's complicated is cutting down trees.
La la la. Woo!
Done. Okay, it's the regular forge. For regular things. Obtain 100 realm currency. Realm Sun's Frontiers. Use the Teapot. Did that.
These bombs, so heavy.
I feel like I should be able to cut down trees. Well, that fire went away. Is this just... Oops. This is just what we had. Okay, but I can't build anything on the beach or anything. It seems. Detailed step-by-step blueprint for a wine o'clock. Use. Can place wine o'clock. These are all inside things, probably. This shouldn't be...
These bombs, so heavy.
Okay. Complicated, I guess, maybe. Learn free furnishing blueprints. Did that. Why don't you put them immediately into the place where I can use them? Wait. Oh. Switch areas for now. So maybe we will be able to put things on the beach later. Oh, I need to have all the pieces for it. Okay. Maybe things are slightly complicated.
La la la.
Is he no longer here? No, he's over there.
The one before you is known as Jade Seeker. Ah.
Can buy a dog. Will buy a dog. This one is colored like my dog, so it's this dog it will be. Is there any use in rotating a dog? On the roof it goes. That would have been mean. Maybe I can cut down these trees. Actually, I can't go down there, can I? Can I? Paimon? Okay. So no.
La la la. Dodoko? Dodoko, where are you?
Oh, I can switch maps. Okay. And I thought I could teleport, but I guess I cannot.
Da da da. Woo! La la la.
So how quickly these coins come back?
Maybe you're not used to the place at the moment.
Alright, she has a lot of things to say. I forgot. Current accumulation at 4 per hour. Okay. It's currently 20 minutes before midnight indeed. And I have very much nothing to do tomorrow.
Maybe you're not used to the place at...
Ah. So we can just switch this at any point. Or what? What did it say?
Maybe you're...
Oh. No, not any time. We need to unlock them.
Maybe you're not used to the
Maybe. Create furnishing. Ah, okay. And this is where we need materials. Timber from the sandbearer tree. Said to be an exceptionally hardy plant, resistant to wind and rain, with a long lifespan. Can be used to create furnishing, found in the wild. Timber obtained from pines. Okay.
Maybe.
I noticed at the very last moment that there is a second tab. We can create fabric and possibly dyes, yes. One-to-one Sunsetia, huh? That's silk flower. I see and understand. What was that which we could make? 2 yellow and 1 more red. Oh, sorry. 2. Traveling pods are harder than traveling outside worlds. I mean, probably. Oh, this takes 13 hours to make. Sure. You can do it. You can make me a rug. Process 1 dye. Make 1 piece of fabric. I can hear you,
Do you
dog.
want to come fish blasting with me? I'll get grounded for a whole day, but it's way worth it because the fish taste so good.
I really want a pet dog button. At least I have a dog that can follow me around. Come on. There's gotta be something I'm missing. Like they're clearly reacting. Also, I still did not talk to all of the things our bird friend wants to tell us. No? Guess not. Maybe you need an actual axe. That... Maybe I should look at that weird screenshot in the handbook. And see what... No, not in the handbook. What was it? Archive?
Why, 'cause 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 'c
Tutorials, yes. Now it's harder to find. Serenity Pot. No, he's just hitting it with his sword. But it might be in the outside.
I keep watch. You leave, you call me.
It might be in the outside. Gather things in the outside, use them on the inside.
Maybe you're not.
Realm Depot. Trust ranks. While of adaptable speed. Okay, here's stuff we can just buy whenever. If there are cats in here, I'm gonna be sad. But I don't think there are. But there's a lot of stuff to buy. Okay. Maybe.
When breaking new ground, laying foundations, and furnishing a home, it is best to select an auspicious day for the work at hand.
Cats and furnishing blueprints? It's more likely than you think.
I'll teach you more about this another day. There are many methods by which one might tell if a certain day bodes well or ill.
Okay. So... how do I leave again? Can I just teleport out by teleporting out? I sure can. Just wanna see if I cut down a tree in the outside world, if I get wood now. Or if I'll have to actually look up how this works. Other than that, I think I'm pretty much done for today with streaming. Just so you know that we are reaching the end. After this loading screen. And these messages. From our sponsor. So, can cut down a bush. Can get a blue horned lizard if I'm past. But does this at all give me what I'm looking for? Man, this is sunset here. I always need sunset here. Important message. Did I just get wood? Is that the important message? Yes.
Still within my threshold.
Suihua wood. Also, I did get exploded, but that's beside the point. Collecting wood. Birch. A tall tree that originates in the far north, but which has since spread all over Teapot. It produces a great many branches and is a key wood resource throughout various nations. Birches are common sight in the Windwale Highland. Cut a birch down to obtain birchwood. Chicote, pine, sandbearer tree, Kringsa bamboo, cedar, Faber's fir. We have got a lot more items to collect in the overworld, I guess. Also, I guess we only get one wood by tree. No, we got a lot of wood by tree. Okay. Maybe it's not gonna be that much of a grind. Like, how many do I get from one? This was free. Cutting a tree with a sword feels like eating a soup with a fork. Let's try this more practically. Sadness, it does not work. I was hoping this would work. That sounded like a practical solution to me. Nope, guess it's only swords. I mean, surely the great sword would also work. Oh, almost ran into a boss. Half exactly. Let's end the stream how we started it, because I have exactly 40 Primo gems, or whatever it's called. Resin-ish. Played exactly long enough to recharge. Moons. Moons is fine too. The next stream in Honkai will be when I unlock the next story part in... What's the event called? The one with Bronny.
I want to build a snowman. Will you help?
I'm not exactly sure how long that will take. Because I haven't gotten new special missions today, so I'm assuming things will be slower from now on. However, I will message you in-game again on the day I will stream, if that helps. Hacked! Yes. That's some lag. Good, then I will indeed inform you in-game again. Possibly on the morning of the day when I will stream. Or as soon as I reach the required level.
goes on.
I'm not a huge fan of the wheel attack. Anyways, I should be talking. Thank you for watching today's stream. This was quite a bit longer than I expected. I didn't expect that to be an actual longer quest involved with the Teapot. I thought we'd just talk to Madame Ping and get the Teapot immediately, but I guess this is not how this game works. Although I am glad that we met Yanfei, because otherwise we might have never met. Meanwhile, Song Li's quest pretty much took as long as I expected it to. However, I will probably stream Genshin sometime soon again. There is definitely another reason to stream it this update, and I might also just make a stream about hangouts again due to the new ones, so I might just want to finish off the first Noel hangouts. I'm glad you enjoy that I'm reading it out, because I sure enjoy reading it out. But okay, that should be all for today.
Coming to be.
I wanted to land on that. Can I do that? Maybe. Maybe not. No, I guess it's not a landable object. Sadness. See you next time, David. See you next time, everyone else. And good night. Thanks for watching me do legal things. For once.